Joe Blasco back here with Dan Striepek, and we have some wine. So here's to your continued good health and happiness.
And to yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you for coming.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And to all of you out there at MUA TV land, enjoy. And now we're gonna break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna talk to the hairstylists. And we're back here with Dan Striepek in his sculpting studio. Check this out.
Now, over here we have these 4 molds, which are the product of our labors. And I think you saw one on the other table.
Yeah, we showed that during the interview.
And of course, this is Bubbles, the mold, the pig butt.
This is a sculpted pig butt that will be available soon on the megamakeupstore.com.
Hopefully, yes.
Now, what is the clay? What's the type of clay that we're using here?
Well, that's a non-sulfur plastiline.
It's an NSP, non-sulfur plastiline.
And the reason we use non-sulfur is because we're doing the molds in silicone, and silicone will not set up against anything that's sulfurous. So we do it non-sulfur.
Yes, yes. And this is the mold of the Grecian.
This is the mold of one of the Grecian ladies, and it will become a wax figure, and then the wax is made into a full ceramic mold, which then the wax is melted out of it, and then it's poured in bronze. So the old lost wax system.
I think this is the one, isn't it? Is this
Right.
the one?
Yes, this is the lady, yeah.
Yeah,
Same-
here it is.
Same lady.
So here you see the actual sculpture.
Yeah. And the
side
negative mold.
and back, and there's the negative silicone mold, and the retaining mold, the mother mold around it made of plaster.
Right.
Those are plaster bandages, right?
Right, plaster bandage, and the silicone is a 2-part silicone, and it works quite well. The only thing it's really subject to is to moisture. If you have a lot of moisture, it takes a long time for it to set.
So if you're in Florida trying to do this, it's going to take you a little longer.
Get rid of the humidity.
That's right. Do it inside with an air conditioner on, dehumidifier.
Now, if you look at these molds, these models that these ladies are making right now, these sculptures, they're much more intricate than these first ones. And we're doing this by design. So in the class, we just progress up a notch each time. Each time we try.
So these were the first.
These are the first. These are the first of the projects.
Good.
Yes.
Very good.
Look what's happened.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Look at the hair.
I know. Isn't that great? Isn't that creative? Yeah.
I love that. Now, that's going to be difficult to cast, is it not?
No, it's not.
No?
No, not really.
How are you going to get? What do you use to pull the clay out of the mold?
I usually use a dental tool or a tweezers, the old angle tweezers. You know.
Does it wash out with alcohol and a brush? Or?
Alcohol will help it, but it separates very
really easily.
It doesn't adhere to the silicone.
To the silicone.
No, not really. Silicone only really adheres to silicone.
Yes, yes.
The wonderful thing about this is that you learn that you trust your eye, and then you learn to not trust your hands. You have to train your hands to do what the eye is telling you to do. And it's a wonderful growth process. It really is. You know, look at this feather. Can I show this right here?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
She just created that, and I don't think you've ever made a feather before in your life, have you?
No.
There are no limits. If you don't limit yourself, there are no limits to what you can do. And we're starting to really fly here in the world of sculpture.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It really is. Well, for instance, these ladies were making these molds. They've never made a mold before in their lives.
Did the girls make these molds?
Yeah, they made their own
good
molds.
For you. Look at that.
You know, in other words, what I'm saying is that we're taking from a piece of pipe and some wire out of it, all the way through to a finished bronze sculpture.
Yes.
And the entire process, including patina, the whole thing.
That's the coloring process, the patina.
The patina. So these ladies now, you know, they won't need me anymore. They just fly off. And
Well, they're going to start their own retirement. They're going to start their own retirement sculpting classes.
No, but you know what I'm saying is that, and this is applicable to your schools, is that learning sets you free.
Oh, absolutely.
It expands you. You can only get better.
Yeah, learning is power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is
exciting.
power.
Now, are you going to bring her throat down and go out with some shoulders
I
on?
have to give her some cheekbones.
Pardon?
I have to give her some cheekbones. I haven't done that.
Well-
Not too much.
Well,
That's
looking at
really
her
beautiful.
picture, she hasn't got the cheekbones haven't developed
She
yet
doesn't have many. I know.
because the baby fat is still there. And that's what I like about that
Well,
moon, that little bit of moon
Yeah,
face.
a little. There's a little there.
Yeah, but not much.
Yeah.
It's pretty. But I wondered if you were going to bring it down to about.
I don't know.
It's up to you.
I
It
like
is
the
whimsical,
Modigliani neck.
Okay, then that's.
Say that
nothing wrong
fast
with
3
that.
times.
I know.
Nothing wrong. Hey,
After wine.
Have another glass of wine.
Modigliani is not one to be scoffed at. I mean, he's
No.
a great sculptor.
No.
And,
That's terrific.
You
wow.
sculpt?
I do. Yes, I
Good for
do.
you. Well, I would think
I've
you
never
would
done
be.
freeform sculpture like this.
we're going to
but
invite
I've
Joe
done
right now.
prosthetics.
I think
Prosthetic
to
sculpture.
come and join the class.
Yeah,
right
that'll
now.
be
Can I do
that'll be
this in the
terrific.
camera?
Oh,
I think you
sure,
should.
sure.
We're going to invite Joe Blasco right
Yes.
now to come on a Tuesday of his choice,
Right.
and we want him to wail away with the clay.
Exactly.
Okay, you
Yeah.
got it.
You would love it.
It's a
That's
deal.
a deal.
Okay.
You got that, buddy.
And we won't have you on camera.
Oh no, I have to be on camera. I'm a camera freak here. No, I love it. That'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
Ah,
Next time when you're in
Yeah,
town,
yeah,
you're welcome.
That would be.
I remember that. The first time that I met you was not in person, but was in a photograph, and it was you were standing in front of a sculpture. You were doing the witch from the
witch
Magic
on
Sword.
The Magic Sword.
That's right. That Bird-Eye Gordon
Yeah,
film.
the old witch.
Right, right.
the-
And you were
had that grimace
You were
on my-
grimacing, right? You were grimacing like this,
Yeah.
and the sculpture had the same grimace.
Yeah, he remembers that. It was probably
That
some of the worst
ingrained its-
work ever done in the motion picture industry.
No,
but
it was the beginning.
I know it was.
Early on prosthetics.
yes,
It was fantastic.
You know, he's definitely the one to interview because I mean,
we had.
his credits are.
We had unbelievable.
How many
all of
films
these
have you
girls-
done?
Oh my God.
Well, give me a second,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be right back.
Yeah. Wow. This
I
we
know.
got to
Somebody
turn this
gave me
around. This is
Oh
really
my God.
beautiful.
That's unbelievable.
So
This
Oh,
shows.
That's scary.
This is a list of all and the years of all of the film
Oh, I
titles.
love that.
those
that
are the
Danny has
those are the
done.
credited ones. You know.
Yeah.
The credited ones.
Yeah.
Too bad you haven't done much, Danny. God.
How beautiful is that? Oh, you did Dragnet.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Dragnet '87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1987. Look at how quickly he jumped in there. He says 87.
Yeah, exactly.
This is great. Planet of the Apes, 1974.
Yeah.
Farewell to the Planet of
God,
the
that
Apes,
was a long time
81. From 74 to 81. You know, I was making all of the rubber grease, which we now call prosthetic makeup,
Right.
for all the ape pictures.
Right.
With because I was training with
Ben.
Ben Nye,
Yeah, I
Ben
know,
Nye Senior,
I know,
and his
yeah.
lab when he had his little lab on
Yeah. On
Santa Monica Boulevard.
Santa Monica Boulevard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then that's where I learned how to do cosmetics compounding. For Ben, we did all the rubber grease for 8 pictures and for Hello Dolly.
That's right.
And actually,
you
it
did
was
all the
regular makeup for Hello Dolly.
Dolly 1, Dolly 2, Dolly 3.
That's right. The
Remember
Dolly
those?
highlights.
And
and
you know, Hello Dolly was a very interesting film because I had a great relationship with Gene Kelly and a fabulous relationship.
He
with-
directed this.
Yes, and with Ernest Lehman, who was the producer and the writer, and they, because of that relationship, I was able to, devise that makeup to where I wanted them to have the John Singer Sargent look, but I didn't want it to burn through the emulsion.
Right.
And Fox had its own lab at that time on
Right.
Western Avenue.
That was deluxe.
Deluxe, and I'd go to the lab every night and work with the guys, whether you had 2 microvolts or
Right.
half a microvolt, a little cyan, or
Right.
yada.
Time it
And I
perfect.
got to know the lab business so well, the photographic laboratory business, and I think that I'm very proud of that film because it's right
beautiful.
on the line of whether the faces would burn through the emulsion or not.
Right,
It's right on the line, but we got it, and they got a look that I thought was very important.
Yeah, it was
to the
gorgeous.
film.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
Pristine look.
Yeah, it
Flesh
was
tones are
really, Dolly was a very light colored
Yeah,
makeup,
yeah,
as you
extremely,
remember.
Yeah. I poured them.
Yeah, porcelain.
I made them
porcelain.
and poured them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very porcelain, and the highlights were like almost a TV white, very
Exactly.
off-white.
Exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Then we did all the makeup for. We made all the rubber grease for the Apes TV series. That,
Right, which I
that
did
Joe,
also.
Joe was doing.
And,
Joe.
Frank Griffin, myself, and Ed Butterworth.
Look at this. Oh, here comes. There's going to be a feather here. Now.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. Look at that.
What have you got going here, Linda?
Look
This
at
is
that.
I
interesting.
don't know.
You-
Sort of like.
That's a
Top
feather.
knot? Top
Yeah,
knot?
no,
Yeah,
it's gonna
good,
be
good.
feathers.
Yeah.
The Indians wore top knots, yeah.
Well, look at how much
I
jewelry
know
I
you.
have.
Yeah,
I've got my life
yeah.
around
Oh,
me.
you have your
I love
Indian
Indians.
work. And
I love the American Indian. They're so fabulous.
That's fantastic.
Great.
so,
We're gonna break right now, just
Right.
for 1 second. Don't you go away. Don't touch that mouse, as we say, because we'll be right back with more sculpting right after this.